I'm going to go ahead and feature a formerly estranged parent. And I'm going to post her video and then we're going to go ahead and talk about it. And unlike what I do with the estranged parents who are seeking attention by being the victim of their children, and also because I'm just not looking to create more division, this is an opportunity to create community. This is the kind of estranged parent that I'm looking for, that I wish other estranged parents would follow her story, because of the fact that she actually is working towards repair, and she's a good example of how possible it is. So I'm going to feature her video. I'm not covering her face. I'm not I'm going to give you, her name is Grandma Shelly. And Grandma Shelly, if you end up seeing this video, I have tremendous respect and love for you. And I think that you're very courageous to come on and talk about your story, because I know this isn't easy. So let's get into it, shall we?
Hi, everyone. For those of you that have been following my story, I've been estranged from my adult child and my grandchildren for about 6 months. I used the TikTok platform to get the word out on estrangement of parents by adult children. This is a phenomenon that's happening, sadly, to too many people. I had so many friends and followers reach out to me that they were having the same issues, were missing their grandchildren, and had an adult child that they were not able to speak with. First off, let me say that there are many, many reasons that this can happen. There are situations where people are toxic and unhealthy, and parents and grandparents alike have the responsibility to keep children out of those situations. So while there are many different situations that can occur, there are some that unfortunately are just very confusing and no one really knows what went wrong. This is the case that was with me and my older son. I want to share a piece of advice. My situation has changed and things are looking up and for the better. But not before I had to bite the bullet and humble myself and realize that the only thing I could change is myself. Once I sat down and listened to my adult son and how he felt and how my words and actions made him feel as a parent, I was able to see that by simply changing the way that I related to him, I could make the situation better. Does this mean that he's perfect and he didn't hurt me in any way? No, it does not. It means that I'm the parent and I'm a role model. And if I can humble myself and try to change the things that put a wedge between us so that I can have a relationship with my grandchildren, then I'm going to do that. Now, I'm not saying that this will work in every situation, but I want to share that it worked for me so far. I was able to see my grandchildren last week and play with them, and we had a wonderful time together. Now, there's a lot of work to be done. I have to continue to be the kind of parent that I want him to be and that I want to show him I am for my grandchildren. It's important that they grow up this way, with a relationship with me and a good relationship with their parents, who are very good parents to them. Another thing that helped to make that wedge even further and drive a deeper divide between us was the fact that I put their pictures and shared my story on TikTok. Now, do I regret sharing my story so that other people can relate and know that they're not alone? No, I do not. I would do it again. But at this point, I've removed some of those videos because for my son and his wife, it feels like their business was put out on social media, and I completely understand that. While I didn't use names or very specific addresses or locations in the United States, I did share their photos, and for them, that was a feeling that a line had been crossed. So just a little bit of advice for those of you that are still struggling. Doesn't mean it's going to be perfect, but things are improving. And as a mother, I just encourage you, or father, to think about what you can do to make the situation better.
Oh, Grandma Shelly. I didn't expect to get emotional, but this is the thing. I think I'll go almost, because I don't like absolutes. Almost every estranged adult child wishes that you were their mom right now. You recognize that the only way to bring change was to adjust your own behaviors after listening to your adult child. You prioritized the emotional well-being of your grandchildren and recognize that they deserve to see healthy love all around them. And you recognize that you're going to have to continue to listen and be mindful so that you continue to build strength in your relationship with your son, your daughter-in-law, and your grandchildren. And I just want to say, I have so much love for you. I don't even feel like I need to say anything more. I wish you so much healing and so much love and so much joy with your family. And, you know, doing what you're doing, I don't have to wish you that it continues to go well, because you're taking an action to see that it does. And to all my estranged parents out there, these are the stories that you should be listening to. Even where Grandma Shelly acknowledges, I'm not saying my son is perfect. I'm not saying he didn't hurt me or anything like that. What she is saying is that her taking ownership is more important than that. And it is. And before some person out there says, but what about me and blah, 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 and well, but my child disrespected me through this process and this, that, and the other. I get that we get hurt in the process. I was estranged from my own daughter. There is a time where that stuff comes around after you have healed the relationship with your adult child, kept the focus on them and the behaviors that you were exhibiting that had negative impacts on your relationship. It does come full circle. As they live and they gain life experience, then comes the empathy in your direction. And by the time it does, I can pretty much guarantee you don't care about it, you don't need it, but it is a lovely thing to hear. You know, my children recognize where I came from and how much I've done in spite of, in a positive way, in spite of the life experiences I've had. And I appreciate the recognition. However, I don't need that. Having them in my life is the only thing that I need. So, Grandma Shelly, I love you big tons, and keep going in the direction you're going in. Thank you so much for making that video.